You need to try online dating. Girl, you better let me hook you up. These are some of the things that I heard when I turned 30. I know of people who have tried online dating. They're married and it worked for them. I never had any interest in trying online dating for myself because I'm like, if I can't find um, my person or find love or love find me the traditional way, then what's the point? I'm not knocking it. I'm just talking about for me personally. And hookups, I don't know. I'm very skeptical of that because everybody, they know your type, but don't. So for me in particular, I have a specific type, and none of those people are who my loved ones brought to me as a hookup. So I'm gonna start with I'm gonna start in the order of how it is. So I tried online dating for 3 days the first time. I just wanted to see how it is. I chose a Christian site that was free because I'm like, I shouldn't have to pay to find love. So wasn't gonna do that. And from the get-go, they ask you to set your parameters, what you want, what you're looking for in your significant other. Obviously, for me, I thought it was a given Christian, you know, but the men who responded were anything but Christian. They had different religious backgrounds, different beliefs. And I'm like, I also put an age range, and I'm seeing some guys who are older um, messaging me and stuff, men who are old enough to be like my father. And I'm like, I don't like older guys. I put a certain age limit. How are you even filtering it through? So I ended up deleting that app after 3 days because I was like, this is wasting my time. This is ridiculous. I laughed it off. I was like, one day I'm gonna tell that story. Yes, here it is. Then the first hookup came. I'm not gonna put the person on blast, but a lady messaged me and she said she works with someone who has a son that is looking for a, I guess, wife, woman. And I was like, okay, then, you know, my type. Is he my type? She's like, well, no, but he's Christian and stuff. I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll try it because all of my ideas or ideology has not worked. So let me try this. So I was like, can I have a picture of the person? And it's not about oh, let me see if he looks good because I don't care what nobody says. Everybody has their own idea. But I believe that you have to be not thinking about being, but you have to be attracted to the person that you're going to marry. I didn't say the person have to look good to everybody, but you have to be attracted. This is not a spiritual thing in terms of like, okay, they're Christian, they love God. I understand that. But you have to be attracted. To me, if the attraction is not there, that doesn't make any sense. Everybody has their own ideas of that. There's like, oh, attraction grows and whatever have you, which is true. But if I'm going to consider marrying someone and I'm not attracted to them, then that is a recipe for disaster because I have to wake up next to you for the rest of my life. So I need to be attracted to you. So I sort of sent me the picture because I wanted to see what this person looked like. Send me a picture of the guy. He's wearing shades. I'm like, I can't see his eyes. I need to see him because I'm able to, discern and through pictures. It doesn't always have to be face to face. I was like, okay, am I getting this picture? I knew from day one that this wasn't going anywhere. I found out he had, I think it was a daughter. I was like, here we go again. Someone else with a child. Mind you, I have no problems with men who have a child, but the problems come with the drama of the mother of that child. And as I said, I've had that experience already. So I was just like, I don't want to go down this road. I was like, let me just talk to him. So they was like, oh, can I give him your phone number? I was like, nope, email address. If that man wants to talk to me and email me, then I'm going to give him my phone number. So we actually emailed, we corresponded. I thought it was going great. Um, in terms of, wow, he's actually responding to my emails. Wow. We laughed about it. He was like, oh, this is a difference. Most women I talk to is on the phone, but you do an email. Okay. We laughed about it. Then we corresponded. The lady asked, how's it going? I was like, we're still talking or whatever. In my mind, I didn't see anything going anywhere, but I did enjoy um, the emails. I wouldn't really say talking to him because there was things he said, and I'm like, this guy can't be for real. So the more he talked, is the more I knew that it was not going to work out. And then Father's Day weekend, he ghosted me. Never heard from him again. I sent him an email, Happy Father's Day, whatever have you. Never responded. Okay, not a problem. Then come hookup number 2, another lady. I found your husband. I was like, come again? That's not how this works. So she was like, yep, this is it. This is a person for you. And she went off. I was like, that's not how this works. And I was like, let me see his picture. She was like, oh, I already sent him your picture and stuff. I was like, let me see his picture. And give him my email address. I don't want nobody to get my phone number, no WhatsApp or anything. She sent me this man picture. And I just saw, if there was like a kaleidoscope in different shades of red, that's what I saw, red flags. And I remember showing it to another one of my friends who's discerning, and she was like, nope, he looks like trouble. He just had this way about him, like, I'm just looking for someone to bring me to the States kind of look while I'm cheating on you. And I was like, I've been there, done that. I'm not going down that road again. So I told the person, I was like, I don't think that's going to work. That's not God's will for my life. And she was like, do you really know what's God's will for your life along those lines? Because, when we've been picky and whatever have you. And I'm like, that's my choice. Settling is not an option. That's my choice. I don't think she was pleased with a few times she tried to convince me. And a few months later, she was like, he's still asking about you. I was like, that's great, but that's not my husband. Let's not waste my time. That was the end of that conversation. Then I tried online dating again. Someone suggested a specific site to use, and they said, they know people who it work for. And I was like, okay, nothing's wrong with it. Set up my pictures, saw some guys. I was like, wow, Christian. Then I ended up giving one of the guys my number. And then I found out he was a scam artist. He was a fraud. And this was like recent. This wasn't like years ago. This was like recent as last year, recent. Last year, recent. I was like, we have a pandemic. I'm not sure if I'm going to be meeting anyone because we're all under lockdown. So I tried it. And after that guy ghosted me, started talking to like 2 more. They did the same thing. Then I started communicating with this guy. He said he's divorced with 3 kids. I was like, not sure if that's the road for me, but I tried it. I knew it wasn't going anywhere, but I actually enjoyed our conversation. Out of all the guys I've spoken to on the online, the dating sites, he was actually the only one who I could have had proper conversation with. We talked about the Bible, we talked about different things, about future and stuff. I encouraged him, he encouraged me, whatever have you. So I was like, okay, this is cool. We talked about meeting and what. And Thanksgiving weekend, he asked me how was my weekend. I told him about my weekend. He shared what he cooked. The same what I had for dinner then. Never heard from him again. So, at that point, your girl deleted the app. I'm like, this is not making no sense. And then the person who suggested it, she was like, you should give it another try. I was like, nope. I suggested it to someone else. It worked out for them. Mostly everyone who I know who was on that app, one got married and two of them are in relationships. So I was like, it works. I'm not saying the app doesn't work, but that's not for me. That's not where my husband's gonna find me. So all in all, for the past 10 plus years, I've had a roller coaster of whirlwind, terrible wind, whatever wind you want to call it, romance and toxic and all of that thing. And I've learned so much. When you're growing up, you always hear the phrase, study your books, don't study boys. So I took that to heart. I'm not studying no boy. Let me study my books. I was always into academics, doing what I have to do. When you reach a certain age, especially when I graduated, it's like, oh, so what's the next step? Marriage? And I'm like, who am I gonna marry? Like who? And it was like now especially the women in our family, in our circles, our friends, it's like, so anything? Are you seeing anyone? Are you interested in anyone? And whatever have you? And I was like, yeah, but one thing I can't do is force anyone to marry me. Like I can't. And I learned that for me personally, some people are very insensitive to this topic because when you're over 30 and single, I can't even imagine people who are older than me. But I'm talking about see a star. When you're over 30 and single, it's very hard. When I was younger, my parents have been married for over 34 years. And they've been together longer than that. So when I was young, I was like, I want to get married at 22 because my parents got married in the early 20s. I thought I was the age. I thought 21 was too early, and I don't like odd numbers. And I thought 23 was, well, it's an odd number. So I said 22, that's a great number. So I chose that. Never happened. It almost happened with ex number one, but so I've always had a respect and I value marriage to the highest. I respect people's relationships. Like I'm the kind of woman, if I see a man interested, and I'm not talking about my past, I'm talking about like in general, if I see a man with knowingly, I know that he's in a relationship, and I'm not talking about, oh, he's with me and then her. No, I know that he's in a relationship, a situationship. He's deciding if he wants her. I back all the way out. That man is not even in my radar. I always say, if he has to choose between me and her, choose her because I'm not anybody's option. So she better be the one who chooses because I'm not doing that. It's not a situation, well, if it doesn't work out with her, come to me. Nope. If I'm not the only, and I know, yes, when you're single, we're all in our choosing and we have to see the different options out there. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you reach to the point where it's like, oh, well, down to the two contenders. I don't have time for that. Choose her, do whatever you want. But people are very insensitive to the topic. I've had so many negative comments. People was like, are you, things like, are you sure you even like guys? And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're being picky. You let all the good ones get married already and all these things. And I'm like, huh? Are you for real? Or you always finding something wrong with every man? I know there's no perfect man. That's for sure. There's no perfect man. But there are some things that are non-negotiables. Lust, cheating, addiction to pornography, to sex, all of that. What am I doing entertaining a man like that? No. guys who lie, habitual liars, pathological liars. I'm not settling for those things. Guys who have no respect for women, why should I settle for that just to say I have a man? That doesn't make any sense. I've seen too many women, and it hurt me, just settle because they're tired of waiting. They um they want to have a child. So please, I need to, I'm talking about Christian women, I'm not talking about the unsaved. I need to have a child. So let me just find somebody, whether he could be a different version of Christian, whatever it is I want. And most of them, they're not with that guy to this day, or they're going through some kind of horrible experience because they couldn't wait. And I look at that as an example. I'm not judging anyone, that's on them. But I don't want to go through that experience because I've been through those things already. And I'm writing the books, have written the books, that will continue to write the books on relationships. I've been there, done that. I'm not doing that in my 30s. The past is gone. I can't do anything about that. I can't erase it. No matter how much regrets I have, it doesn't change it. But one thing I will not do is settle just to say I could have, besides those, my two ex-fiancés, X1 and 2, I could have been married many other times because there were guys who were genuinely interested in me, but I didn't see them as my future. And yes, they did ask me to marry them. So when people see me or see other women a certain age, they just make assumptions. They make assumptions. Some people think I'm flighty, I'm all over the place. I have a whole bunch of men. Far from it. What I do have is the man named Jesus Christ. As in, Jesus Christ is keeping me and protecting me from all these counterfeits, jokers, losers. There's nothing worse than heartbreak. There's nothing worse than knowing you wasted time on a guy or a man, or when we were a younger boy, who have no proper intention for your future. There's nothing worse than that. And what hurts me the most is that most of my heartbreak came from Christian men. I talked to and dated unsaved men, but my heartbreaks came from the Christian men, the guys who said, I love Jesus, I'm a Christian, I go to church, and I know going to church in and of itself is not the be all end all. You have to have an intimate relationship with God. But as far as I know, once you profess Christ, there is an expectation. None of us is perfect, but there is an expectation about your behavior, especially how you treat your Christian sister. I try my best, even to this day, to not break anybody's heart, to not enter there was one particular guy who was interested in me and said, I believe that you're the one for me. And I told him, I was like, I don't have that same conviction. I don't want to break your heart. I told him that. And he's married today. We waste too much time because we don't want to wait on Jesus. We waste too much time. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's journey is different. Some people get married in their late 30s, their 40s, their 50s. I'm not talking about that, but we waste too much time. Some of you are out there and God specifically said that this person is your spouse. And both of y'all have that conviction. And you're still dilly-dally and you're still like, well, I'm not sure. And let me just try out somebody else and stuff. Wasting time. Wasting time. And then you have the situation where, you move on and you find someone and people always find a flaw. Oh, you couldn't find any good men from this side. You couldn't find any good men from this culture, this country, and whatever. And I'm like, I tried that. But you didn't try. No, but you relax yourself. You don't get to dictate that. That's not that's not your rights. Some of y'all out here playing relationship therapist and guru and all of that, and your relationship or marriage in shambles. You need to be quiet. Oh, there's something about marriage, and if you're not married, you won't understand. And some of you need to get out your singleness. Singleness is not a curse in any way, shape, or form. It's not a curse. And marriage is not the solution to problems. It is not the be all end all. So we need to get that in our minds. Stop looking at your single friends and making all these assumptions of why they're single. Or you this, or you that. So I advise you need to smile more. You need to dress like this. You need to talk like this, walk like this. You need to go here, there, and everywhere. Cool yourself. I've tried it all. All the suggestion I've done, every single suggestion I was given, nothing worked. So what am I supposed to do? The thing I should have done in the first place is wait on Jesus, the Christ, because he's the one who knows for a fact who my husband is and when I'm getting married. And there were some things that I said when I was younger. Be careful what you say, young people. When I was growing up, I was like, oh, I want to learn things the hard way and I'm never going to get married. That's what I said. So being at this age and seeing that I did learn things the hard way and that I'm not married, I remember that. Be careful of your words. Oh, I don't think, and there was a song, I think, a few years ago, and people singing it, I'm going to be single forever. Don't confess those things. These are not just songs. These are words have power. Even idle words have power. Parents, you're pressuring your child. Oh, you're 21, you're 22, you're this, you're that. When I was your age, I was already married with 3 kids. That's your journey and that's your business. You're not telling your child that, you got some marital issues all those years. You're not telling them that. Oh, you need to get married and thing. No. Young people, you need to know who you are in God first and foremost. You need to know who you are as a woman, as a man. You need to know what it means to be a husband and a wife. We have our own definition, our own ideas, our own assumptions, but the Bible is very clear. God is very clear on what it means to be a man and a woman and a husband. He's very clear. We need to get that. We need to understand our purpose. Some of us, some people get into marriage and now hoping that they get their purpose with their spouse. No. That's not how purpose works. Your spouse will complement your purpose. They'll be a part of it. But being married is not your purpose. It's not. Find out your purpose. Find out who you are. Learn yourself, what you like, what you don't like. Travel. Yes, I know we're in a situation where we can't really go anywhere, but just go somewhere. Walk outside. Learn yourself. Some of you have been in relationships and there are a lot of lessons that you need to learn. Some of you didn't learn it, so you're learning it again. You keep jumping in and out of relationships. You're not a boomerang. Some of you are opening your legs just to get some kind of pleasure. Because up here, you feel nothing. You feel empty. Some of you men are out there trying to be the girls, them sugar. You want to be a player and stuff because you're empty. Get to know yourself. Ask Jesus, who am I? What did you call me to do? Stop wasting these women's time. And women, stop allowing men to waste your time. And I'm thinking myself, I'm not it's not just for you. We waste too much time. And everybody and their mother and father and grandfather and grandmother have something to say about, oh, she's 30 something and single, 40 something and single. My gosh, what will happen if you cross 50 and 60 and never been married? Some of you need to mind your business. Like, seriously, mind your business. It seems that some of you are more concerned about us getting married than we are. We're focused on God's business. And those of you who just got married or got married a few years ago, relax, relax. You don't know everything about marriage, so don't try to, hurry up your single friends now. Oh, yes, that. Marriage is beautiful. I am not. As I said, my parents have been married a long time, and I've seen the ups and downs, and I've seen marriage is beautiful, but it is hard work. So you have to know that you are willing to put in that hard work. So those of you who just got married like last year, 5 years ago, whatever, just relax, breathe. When you cross that 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 year mark, then you can, but don't try to hook up and force and stuff your single friends to be married because you want everybody to be happy as you. If you waited until marriage for you to be happy, that's a problem. Because if you're not happy before marriage, if you're not happy as a single person by yourself, another person is not going to make you happy. The only one who can make you happy is Jesus. No one else can fill that role in any way, shape, or form. If you're not happy by yourself, you're not going to be happy in marriage. Don't let anybody fool you. Some of you are here hoping and wishing you could go on a date to dress up. Dress up now. You're waiting to be married to go on vacation. Go on vacation now. Singleness is not a curse. It has never been, and it will never be a curse. Because the Bible speaks about all the goodness of singleness. There's so much that happens in your singleness that when you marry, you can't do at all. Embrace your singleness. Enjoy this time. I have been enjoying my years of singleness. This year makes about 8+ years since almost a decade I've been single. And as I said, there was a situationship. I'm talking about single, exclusively in a relationship with a man. Almost a decade. And I learned so much. Does it mean I don't have anything else to learn? No, it doesn't. I would never stop learning. But what I do know is that I don't need a man to complete me. I don't need to be married to be happy. That can only be found in Jesus. Only Jesus can complete me, and only Jesus can make me happy. So if you want to be married, God called you to that. Prepare. Don't wait until you're married to start doing life, to start enjoying life, to start fulfilling your calling, your purpose, your destiny, your ministry. Do it now. Because all the things that's going on in the world, some people may never make it to the altar. But make sure that you're standing in God's throne room on Judgment Day and He's saying, welcome. That's what's important. Focus, yes. Marriage is beautiful. It's beautiful. But the most important thing is making sure that your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. That's very important. Don't let anybody force you out of singleness. You're not cursed. And no, to that person who's asking, nothing is wrong with you. Not one thing. Nothing is wrong with you because you're single. Some of you are 18 and it's like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me. 18-year-old, enjoy your life. Work for God, do things for God, grow in your relationship with Him. You're 21. Come on. Life is precious. Time is something that you can't get back. Nothing is wrong with you. That man, you may be in your 30s, you may be mid-30s. Some of your friends already have teenagers. That's okay. That's okay. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you because you're single. But make sure the things, both male and female, the things that you need to deal with before you get married, you deal with them. Some of you know you have some things to work on. You have some things to work on. And I'm not talking about the things that you could only work on when you're married, because there's only certain things that you could work on when you're in your marriage. But there's some things that you need to work on now. If you got problems with whatever it is, I don't want to give definitions because no issue is more important than the other. But whatever issue it is, whatever you need to work on it now. So you don't waste your spouse's time when you do get married. God's willing. You're not cursed. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not cursed. Nothing is wrong with you. You have a past. It may be ugly. My past is ugly to me. Yours, you may have more intense experience. That's okay. But I promise you that your past, your experiences will help someone else someday if you haven't already begun to share it. This was hard for me to do. Very, very hard. To open up myself to people who I don't even know. I don't even know who's listening to. This is very hard for me to do. I'm a very private person. But if it even helped one person to know that nothing is wrong with you, and God does have the best. He really has the best. I've seen it. When you wait on God, He gives you the best for you. Everybody else have their own idea of what best is, but He gives you the best for you. When you're married, divorce is not an option. But if you don't remember anything else I said, remember that when you're single, settling is not an option. Don't let it be your option. I don't care if all your friends have kids who are in 8th grade. That's great for them. They got a house, they got a car, they have things, and you might still be living in your mom's basement. That's fine. Nothing happens before it's time. Nothing. When we rush it, that's when we end up in problems. Because imagine you do the right thing and there's still trouble, there's still trials and tribulations. So imagine when you do the wrong thing, what's going to happen? Marriage is not running anywhere. Sex is not running anywhere. Relationships, all of this. Children will always be born. Some of you are worried you're getting older. I'm not sure if I'll be able to have kids. You're not the Trinity. You don't control your body. Don't speak those negative things over your life. Science could say anything. They have pronounced many women barren. But God is the one who's in control of your body. So they can call you barren. You rebuke that. I know you might be 38, like, oh my gosh, well, if I get married now, forget kids. No. Pray and ask God to give you the desires of your heart according to His will. If it's His will for you to have a child or children at 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 50, then you will. And no, you don't have to do in vitro. No, you don't have to do no pills or no, you do the natural way. Trust God. Some of you want to get married because you want to have kids. You think the biological clock is ticking. Or the doctor might pronounce some sort of sickness on you that's preventing you from having children. So you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get married now because I need to make sure that no, relax, just breathe. The world has already put a lot of pressure on us. Let's not put it on ourselves. Just breathe. Breathe. It's going to be more than okay. Enjoy this season of singleness. Enjoy it. Because once it's gone, there's no going back. You can't take it back. No matter what form it comes in the future, you would never get this moment back. Some people were single only for 18 years and they got married. 20 something and they got married. That's wonderful for them. Nothing is wrong with marriage. Marriage is beautiful. It's honorable. But don't compare your season of singleness to wait to hope that you'll be happy then. Be happy now. Be happy that you can, as I said, do things for God. When he tell you to go, to move. Because when you're married, you can't just up and go and do whatever you want. You can't. I know some of you have like an independent mindset. There's no independence mindset in marriage. Enjoy your singleness. Breathe, 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 breathe. It's gonna be all right, baby girl. It's gonna be all right, boy. It's gonna be all right. You're in a beautiful time of your life. And if the person that you're supposed to be with is sitting across from you in the room and you've been ignoring them, you better be obedient. If there's a woman that you're supposed to call, you better be obedient. A man whose number you should answer, you better be obedient. But just don't do it on your own. Don't try to force anything. If God said a person is your spouse, he will make it clear to you. He will make the way. You don't have to create anything. You don't have to try to create scenarios and push yourself up on it. You don't have to do all of that. He does it and it's beautiful, it's smooth. You don't have to do the most. To all the women who's waiting to be loved, accept God's love. When you accept his love and you just embrace it and you know that he is love, whenever that man comes, you will be looking for that love in that man. He has to have, obviously it's not going to be the level of God, that's God, but he has to have God's love in him for you to know, to say yes to him. He can't say he love you, but he looking at this one and that one. That's not love, that's lust. To the men, you want a Proverbs 31 woman. Go deeper in the Bible. What else is required of you as a man? What else is required of you? We need to learn what God's requiring of us, and we need to learn ourselves. Work on ourselves. We need to work on ourselves. And some people are like, oh my gosh, I've been working for 10, 20 years. Maybe that's the problem. You count in time. And I'm not saying none of this because I have it all together. I'm still dealing with some of these stuff. So even as these words are coming out of my mouth, I'm like, oh boy, yes, they're a star. So I'm talking to myself too. But one thing I do know is that I'm not waiting for anybody to fulfill me. I'm not waiting for anybody to make me happy. I'm not waiting for anybody to do ministry or anything. I'm doing that right now. Even as we speak, I'm in another city away from my family because God called me to be in this city. I don't know anybody where I am right now. Am I supposed to wait until I am married to do mission trip? Nope. I've been doing mission trips for years. Am I supposed to wait on marriage to do ministry? Nope. I've been doing that for years. I go out, I go on vacation by myself. A lot of time, many times I've gone on vacation by myself in other countries, in other cities. I'm not waiting for that. I'm not waiting for the honeymoon for my first vacation. I've been doing that already. Learn yourself. Ask God to show you what you need to learn about yourself, what you need to deal with. Some of you have some horrible pain and you just want somebody to you want to be in a relationship with somebody because you want somebody to talk to Jesus, because that person can't help you like he can. That person can't erase the pain. Yes, they may be able to hug you and whatever activities, but it doesn't take away the pain. Deal with that now. Deal with it now. Marriage already has its own problems. Don't bring in extra, especially things that you could deal with now. And again, no one is perfect going into marriage. So don't think you have to be perfect, but deal with yourself now. So, God, whoever these messages was for, I just pray, Lord, that you have your way in their heart and mind. I pray, Lord, that they would forgive who they need to forgive. Some of them want to enter into a relationship and their heart is full with unforgiveness. Show them their heart condition. Show them what's inside. Let them work on it, Jesus. I thank you, God, that you're going to give them peace, that they're going to have your peace. They're going to have your love, Jesus. That when they look at themselves in the mirror, they're not going to compare themselves to anyone else anymore. When they see different things on social media or just hear about it, they're not going to compare themselves because their journey is different. Yes, they could have gotten married 10 years ago, but it didn't happen. That time is gone. Let them not waste any more time in regret. Some people may have had the one that they were going to marry and that person died and they're just wishing that someone else could come. No. Bring healing to them, oh God. So many single people and they're hurting. I just pray, Lord, for your healing in minds and hearts, your healing in situations. I thank you, God, for those who will be obedient to picking up that phone and calling or answering the phone call or the email or the text message. Lord, just have your way in their lives. Deal with the hurt, deal with the pain. Help the Christian men to respect their Christian sisters and help the Christian sisters to respect their Christian brothers, because we are not innocent as women either. I just thank you, Lord, for giving me the boldness to do this. It was not easy, but whoever it's meant to minister to, just have your way. But I just pray, Lord, that they go with your peace and your love, and they understand that singleness is not a curse and settling is not an option. In Jesus' name, amen.